Hi there, I just wanted to do a little video about my journey of separation, divorce, and how I was really feeling stuck in my relationship. I had 2 young boys, and really what I did to heal myself, the therapy that I took on at the time. And yeah, just really, if this resonates with anyone, I'd love to hear from you. So my journey into separation and divorce, this was nearly 11 years ago now. Yeah, the babies were very young. And looking back now, I think I had postnatal depression as well. But I think I'm going to save that for another video because I just want to talk about the marriage side of it. So yeah, very unhappy marriage, no communication, lots of other issues going on as well, which again, I can put in another video for you. But really, my journey of how I healed, and maybe some advice I can give to some other people, and just really wishing that I'd maybe done things differently. I know now how I might have changed some things. So it took me a long time to get where I am today. Like I said, sort of 8-9 years really. Because you do sort of think you build up the courage. I had family and friends around me, being able to support me through my split. I was very lucky. There was one particular friend that didn't really support me, but then you just move away from friends that don't really resonate with you anymore. So that was fine, but I had people supporting me. But I was in such a funny old place. Although I'd made this decision to end my marriage and I knew it was right, and to this day it's still the best thing I've done. However, I didn't really cope with it very well. There was lots of issues afterwards. Yeah. I've just felt so exhausted. I think from the relationship before the breakup was hard going. I felt exhausted. There was lots of arguments and stuff like that. The children were young, like I said, maybe postnatal depression as well. And yeah, I just was really quite low. And I had a couple of friends just sort of giving me self-help books, stuff to read. But I wasn't in that place. I wasn't in that place at all. I mean, I was never a great reader. The only time I would read is when I was on holiday, relaxing, chilling, and I'd have a good book. And it takes me quite a while to get into a book and to finish a book. However, that's changed. I read quite a lot now. But yeah, this is the last thing I wanted. I didn't want to be reading about not being well, maybe in the mind and in the body. It's the last thing that I could have done, is to pick up a self-help book and try and help myself. But now I really enjoy those books. And it may be something that you want to do for yourself. I know we're all different. It may be something that you probably might not pick up until after you've been through your separation and your divorce, like I did, a long time after. I went into another relationship after a couple of years of being divorced, thinking that was that was it for me. This was the love of my life. That didn't really end well, and I was absolutely devastated. Looking back now, it's quite funny to think, wow, really? Did I behave like that? And I think what it is, since studying what I've been doing, qualifying in this field, that I've learned so much about myself, and how it's just down to maybe self-sabotaging, not having any self-love, any self-worth, feeling quite negative and low, bringing that to my vibration, always talking about my ex and the relationship and what I went through. So for me, forever talking about it, talking it out to people, people asking about it. There was always a drama. And it's only the last few years that I've realised that I was bringing more of that drama to me, because, you know, whatever you're giving out to the universe, whether it's good, bad, high, low vibes, the universe is just giving it back to you because it's in your vibrational state, it's in your body. And the more I was talking about it, the more I was bringing it to me. Therefore, I was attracting another guy that was probably fitting in with my vibrations. I didn't know that at the time. And attracting the same type. You know, all the things that, the reasons I left my ex-husband for, were now showing up in the new guy. And again, I just got sucked in and thought, well, this is supposed to work. This has to work. This has to work. So again, lots of uncomfortable situations, arguments, me not trusting, loads of stuff. And even after, when it finished, oh, devastation. Had counselling, had a little bit of CBT, could hold a job down. I could be strong enough to go to work, but when I was at home and with obviously close family and friends, especially my family, I would be crying, but also then going on the other spectrum of screaming and shouting and, yeah, just crazy. There was no sort of even keel. Really emotional times. And I just believe, and have now learned over the last few years, that all these things were just stuck trauma in my body, and my body was reacting. And like I said, I had no self-worth, self-esteem, you know, some of the behaviour, even the sort of feeling needy, being needy with these people. It's not a good thing, you know. Never thought I was a needy person, but all these things were showing up for me really, really strongly. But I didn't notice at the time. I would think, no, I'm not needy. You know, this relationship has to work. It has to work. I want it to work, and it has to work. Didn't know that I could be tapping into these feelings and emotions and maybe releasing them. Didn't even think of communicating how I was feeling to that particular boyfriend. And looking back now, he would have probably just thought, you know, what are you talking about? And it just shows you now, looking back, that that person wasn't right for me, you know, wasn't aligned to me. It's only now that I think, you know, what I'm putting out is what I'm receiving. And that's really what I wanted to say. You know, if you feel that you're stuck in a relationship, marriage, feel like you can't get out because it's all you know, it's become a habit, you know, how can you be on your own and not be with someone? You've been with this person for many, many years. What would life be like alone? Are you thinking and worrying about the children? Are you constantly arguing because the children will pick up on that? Or are you silent? I mean, sometimes that's just as bad as the arguing, because, you know, there's atmosphere, there's attention, you know, the children know that things aren't right between you. And I must say, you know, my teenage boys, hopefully they're happy. I mean, they seem happy, they seem grounded, and I do believe that's because they have a happy time with their dad when they visit, and they have a happy time here with me. You know, they've seen me heal and grow and go through loads of emotions. And yeah, I've sort of taught them, hopefully, that not to suppress their emotions, to talk about when they're feeling nervous. And, you know, I'm yet to get them to meditate. They do see me meditating and, you know, they have a little joke about it. But I'm hoping, you know, I'm not going to force it on them, but I'm hoping that they will just remember that and just think, you know, along the line, maybe as they get a bit older, that maybe that's something they want to practice, and they've seen the benefits that I have encountered through meditation, through breath work, and then just, you know, coaching clients. So yeah, it's really all about, you know, if you're not happy, you get one life. We deserve, it's our birthright to be happy, to live this life to the fullest, whether that is going it alone, parting ways, meeting a new partner, starting up a business, traveling, all sorts of things, just for inner peace and happiness. You know, we shouldn't be looking for someone else to bring that happiness to us, or to fill the void, or to make us happy. You know, I have learned that I am happy in my own skin. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not 100% 24/7, of course not. There's always something that comes up for us, or we are healing every single day. But I have to work on it, truly, seriously, have to work on it. It's not an overnight fix. And if you want to do what I've done, then you need to work. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because there's so many things that show up. They show up in our mind, our crazy monkey minds. They show up in our bodies. I'm so aligned and in tune with my body. Every single emotion comes up. And if we've got emotions that are stuck, we need to release them. We need to do, there's many things that we can do to release them, but we need to get them out of our body, our amazing vessel that we have, just to unblock, to feel happier, and to really prevent from illnesses and disease. So there's many ways of doing that, and I have done many things. Like I said, mentioned earlier, I went to different therapists, which again, I would recommend. You know, one size doesn't fit all. I'm not saying to, you know, meditation is my practice, but I think at the time where I was, I wouldn't have believed in meditation, maybe meditation wouldn't have hit the sides. I don't know. I went with what I went with at that given time. And it was counselling that helped me. And antidepressants, I went on them after I'd finished with my ex-husband. I mean, really looking back, you'd think I would have done that beforehand because the relationship wasn't great. But it was maybe just a release. I don't know what it was. It was just something. I was very lonely, very sad, very upset, felt like a failure because I couldn't continue to be married. Am I failing my children, my family? You know, what do people think about it? What do they say? But hey, you know what? Really doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter what people say. I'm not the first to go through a terrible breakup, and I'm certainly not going to be the last. And there's so much stigma. I mean, maybe not so much nowadays, but when I was younger, it was unheard of, really. There was only a few children at school that parents were split. But you know what? If it doesn't work for you, why are we staying stuck in something that makes us really unhappy? Like I said, you know, you live this life, and a lot of people I know maybe stick around because of the children, but then what happens when the children live their lives and they sort of flee the nest? You want to be stuck with a partner that you're unhappy with, and you want to start, you know, creating a life in your 50s or 60s, or, you know, there's no age, there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's no age restriction either. But what I'm saying is, if you've got those feelings and thoughts, then rather sooner than later, because you can do it, you can be happy, you can be successful, everybody can be happy, and you can make things work, or you can put things into place that, yeah, makes your relationship grow, the conversation grows, the love grows, the spark gets ignited. This is possible, you know, whether that's marriage counselling, stuff like that, or that's something you do separate. You know, everyone has different reasons why they maybe fall out of love with someone. Is it that person, or is it actually you as a person? Is there something that you need to change? Or is it that you've been with that person for so many years that you've actually grown apart? And that's okay. It's all okay. You know, some people have said that I want to make changes, but I'm so scared that my husband won't make the changes with me that we will then grow apart. But, you know, if you're okay at the moment and you want to make some changes, then talk it out, and maybe it is something that you do together in your own little journeys, because we can all heal from something. We can all learn new things. We can all bring new passions and hobbies to the relationship. I mean, I found I was just plodding. And even after I'd left the husband, I was still sort of plodding, providing for my children, but sort of thought, I'm not in the job that I love. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was like that in the beginning, but after 20 odd years of being in the same thing, it wasn't for me. I didn't have hobbies really. You know, I cook. I always used to cook a nice meal every evening. We'd go on holidays, but you know, if my children then went to see their dad the weekend, every other weekend when they visit, you know, I'd either go out with friends, eating and drinking, which is great to socialise, or I'd be stuck at home feeling a bit low sometimes, not wanting my old life back, but not really having any hobbies or a passion, unless, of course, it was spending money buying clothes. I do love clothes, boots and handbags. Again, another story, another video. But, you know, even buying material things, you know, there's a time when, for me anyway, is you lose the excitement. You know, it was exciting and it was a rush, but then I'd feel guilty for spending this money on these clothes. I had loads of clothes in my wardrobe. Yeah, so that wasn't healthy either. So along my journey, I have healed all these stuck emotions. There's probably still some there that sort of come to the surface, and I have the tools to now deal with those. Yeah, I still love clothes, don't get me wrong, but I'm not spending or buying things for the sake of it. I've really learned how to appreciate the finer things in life, and the small things are actually the big things. And then maybe, you know, even saving money to then spend a bit, save a bit, as opposed to, you know, just spending all my money on, you know, obviously clothes, food, yeah, and that sort of thing. So there's loads of things. As I'm talking, I'm thinking, you know, I came on here to talk about relationships, and if you're sort of a bit stuck, you know, and that's led on to sort of a clothing addiction. But like I say, there's so much that we suffer from as human beings, so much that we maybe beat ourselves up about, or that we turn to for that quick fix, that joy. Maybe it's drinking, smoking, taking drugs, possibly. I don't know, sex addiction, clothes buying, something else, shopping, online shopping, whatever, you know. It might not feel like a sort of addiction to you. It might not be causing you problems, and that's okay. You know, I didn't have a gambling. I didn't have a gambling problem or anything like that, or an addiction with the clothes that it got me into debt. All I'm saying is it wasn't bringing me joy anymore. It had lost its spark, really. But since meditating and healing and studying all this that I'm doing, I've learned a lot, so much, and get joys from other things, rekindled passions, built my confidence, found a purpose, found an absolute purpose to my life, what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's helping others to heal, to coach others. I mean, I was in that sort of line of work by teaching childcare qualifications, but I just want to help to heal others, because I know how I felt in my darkest days. and the things that I've put in place to help me. And like I said, whether that is, you know, counselling, I did a little bit of CBT, I got into mindfulness, I was on antidepressants for 7 years, and at my worst it was 200 milligrams. But, you know, under the doctor, I then weaned myself off of those when I felt in the right place. Although not completely, because I did say to the doctor, I'll always take some milligram. It will probably be 10 for the rest of my life. And he was like, oh, right, okay. I said, yeah, because the thought of coming off of the medication forever was just no way. It wasn't going to happen. Anyway, that's when I stumbled across mindfulness and, you know, doing that, retraining my brain, getting into meditation. Yeah, I've been off of medication now for 4 years, completely. So that's really good. I feel a lot healthier, because at one point it was suppressing all emotions, even my happy ones, even my laughing, giggling with my friends and family. I was just no emotion. I suppressed all the anger and the tears and the sobbing and the panic attacks, but it also suppressed my love and joy and who I really am. Yeah. So that's quite sad when you think about it. But hey, I've moved on, been healing and working on myself, and I just wondered if this video resonates with you at all. I mean, you know, just drop in the comments or DM me if you want to talk privately. But, you know, drop something in the comments, maybe a heart in the comments, if this resonates with you. Let me know how you're feeling. What do you do to support your mental health and your well-being? Are there changes that you want to make and you're not sure how to start or where to start, or you keep putting it off, or you've tried some things and they haven't worked? Like I said, one size doesn't fit all. I can only tell you from my experience what has worked for me. And yeah, maybe we could sort of get together and do some work together. But I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. And just keep posted with my other videos that are going to be coming out. Bye.